I love the holidays. Ever since I was small, I loved all the lights, the garland, the scent of cinnamon and gingerbread, and of course, the holiday specials. While I am a connoisseur of schmaltz, I prefer quality schmaltz. Animated holiday specials are often a dumping ground for cheaply executed heartstring pulling with stock plots. Great holiday stories, in my opinion, aren't just about Christmas. Let me explain. We've seen Rudolph. We've seen How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Think about all the holiday specials that are about saving Christmas from some greedy jerk or filling in for Santa Claus for whatever reason. Not to mention all the junk about presents. Some of those can be really fun and imaginative, but how many more are boring, or are ridiculously kitschy, or are at worst, offensively terrible, vile garbage? Fortunately, there are holiday specials that are crafted with care and earn that sentimentality. Here are my top 3 favorite animated holiday specials. Number 3. The holidays can be volatile, to say the least. There are parties to go to, specials to watch, meals to cook, and so many gifts to buy. That is, if you're lucky. In the episode Frozen Out from Static Shock, the hero Static is bouncing back and forth between holiday parties, shopping, and saving the city of Dakota from crises. In this episode, a young homeless girl with ice powers named Permafrost is causing blizzards. However, as Static investigates, he discovers that she was a normal girl named Maureen Connors who lost her mother at a young age and was abandoned by her stepdad. The flashback that shows her origins is heartbreaking. Throughout the episode, Virgil, Static's alter ego, is stretched so thin that he writes off Permafrost as another villain. It isn't until he finds her makeshift dwelling in an abandoned building that he changes his approach. He finds a photograph of her with her mother and takes it to a reverend to see if he recognizes her. This is when he learns about her backstory and understands that she is scared and alone and not malicious. The episode also has the underlying message about the homeless being people too, but it isn't the driving force of the episode. The heart of the episode comes from Permafrost and how she feels that no one loves her and desperately wants to feel accepted. She lashes out with her powers out of fear and sadness. It's really sad to watch her struggle and feel alone. And unlike with most of his rogues gallery, Static can't just fight her to make her stop. She confronts Static at a tree lighting ceremony and demands the photograph back. During the fight, Static is able to calm her down when he tells her that he lost his mother too. She breaks down and tells him that she did what she did because she just wanted to be accepted, but her powers ostracized her even more. In the end, Permafrost accepts help, and the episode ends on a message of accepting those from different backgrounds. This is a pretty great episode, even if some of the dialogue feels a bit forced and a little corny. Number 2. The holidays have a lot of emotions and memories associated with them. Rather than the special put Christmas in the forefront, Christmas can be the backdrop of a story that explores the characters. Of course, you need well-written characters for the story to be character-driven. One of my favorite shows is Justice League because of how strong the writing is. I've wanted to talk about this show for a while. I just love it so much. The heroes and villains have personality and heart. It is a joy to watch them on screen. The episode Comfort and Joy is a prime example. It is a breather episode set before the second season finale. The episode starts with Justice League saving an alien world from a crisis. After they save the day, they take time off to enjoy the holidays. The episode splits into 3 stories. The first is the Green Lantern and Hawkgirl going on a date. The second is the Flash trying to get a sold-out toy for orphans. The third is the Martian Manhunter joining Superman's family for Christmas. Batman and Wonder Woman don't appear at all, but I like to think that they are chatting in the Watchtower and having a good time. I'm going to review each of these plots because they are all fantastic. After 2 seasons of build-up, the Green Lantern and Hawkgirl finally resolved their unresolved sexual tension in the end of the previous episode, and are now keeping their relationship subtle. They hang out on the alien world to enjoy some time alone. Green Lantern reminisces about playing in the snow as a child. Hawkgirl, who is from another planet, doesn't understand the appeal, so GL shows her how much fun the snow can be. They play in the snow, and it's really endearing. After a crazy cool snowball fight, Hawkgirl says that she misses celebrating on her home world of Thanagar, and mentions a place nearby where the atmosphere is similar. GL gladly invites her to show him that place. They end up in an alien bar that is one of Hawkgirl's favorite haunts. While Hawkgirl usually acts stoic outside of battle, she cuts loose here and is having a ball of a time. It is so fun to see GL just confused. The cherry on top of the evening for Hawkgirl is starting a bar brawl for kicks. During the ensuing battle, she and GL fight together, and when it is all over and everyone is passed out, she thanks him for showing her a good time with a kiss and snuggles up against him. Both of them happily shared memories of the past and recreated those experiences together. While that is going on, all-around nice guy Flash visits an orphanage. When he asks them what they would like for Christmas, they tell him that they would like a talking duck toy that makes farting noises. The caretaker tells him that the toy is sold out, but he confidently says that he can find one. He soon finds that the toy is indeed sold out. Even with super speed, he can't find a single one left in the town. A lot of parents can relate to that. The not finding the present bit, not the super speed bit. Flash then runs all the way to the manufacturer in Japan to get the very last one. On his way to the orphanage, he notices an explosion in a museum and finds the Ultrahumanite destroying the modern art. He believes it is a waste of public funding and an affront to pleasant aesthetics. The Ultrahumanite believes he is the personification of human advancement and strives to elevate culture and destroy what he believes to be crass. While his morality is questionable at best, he is not as evil as a lot of the League's adversaries and has standards of decency. This episode really highlights how. The duck toy is destroyed in the scuffle, and Flash is devastated. The Ultrahumanite brushes off his concerns and tells him how hollow he believes Christmas to be. Flash argues that Christmas is about passing goodwill on to others, and wants to teach that to children. The Flash doesn't try to fight back when the Ultrahumanite reloads his laser gun, saying that he couldn't feel any worse than he already does. The Ultrahumanite knocks him out, and Flash wakes up in his workshop, where the Ultrahumanite is repairing the toy, having been moved by the Flash's words. They agree to a truce for Christmas. No wonder this guy was so repulsed by Lex Luthor and the Joker. They both go to deliver the toy, and when it is turned on, it starts playing a recording of the Ultrahumanite reciting the Nutcracker, which the kids really enjoy. So he didn't just fix the toy, he also took the time to record himself reciting the story for the benefit of the children. His reasoning was taking the opportunity to bring culture to the uncorrupted. The Ultrahumanite then returns to prison without any fuss, and when he enters his cell, he sees that the Flash has set up an aluminum Christmas tree for him. He begins to state that he had one just like it growing up before catching himself. The Flash watches from the door and sees the Ultrahumanite silently and wistfully enjoying it. Then we have Superman inviting the Martian Manhunter, John Jones, to spend Christmas with his adopted parents, Martha and Jonathan Kent. This is the best story of the episode. Ma and Pa Kent are so adorable, and the interactions between them and their adopted son are so precious.
Have you been eating, dear? You look thin.
Ma, good to have you home again, son.
They mention that they used to wrap Christmas gifts in lead foil to keep their superpowered son from using his X-ray vision to spoil the surprises. Later in the episode, we see that he still tries to see through the presents, but his parents are still using the lead foil. It is even implied that Superman still believes in Santa, which is hilarious since he has the Fortress of Solitude and the North Pole in this continuity.
This little guy was crazy for Christmas. We used to wrap his presents in lead foil so he couldn't peek.
You mean Santa wrapped them?
Oh, of course, dear.
That's just adorable, isn't it? John is surprised to see this side of Superman. Superman has seen some stuff in his tenure as a superhero, but when he comes home, he isn't Superman. He is Clark Kent, a sweet guy raised on a farm by loving parents. Ma and Pa Kent are very kind to John. Being Superman's parents, they've seen some stuff too. They open their home to John and give him a sweater since they believe that any guest in their home on Christmas deserves a present. However, John isn't feeling the holiday spirit. He is a Martian, but there's more to it. Jean, unlike Superman, who was an infant when his planet was annihilated, experienced the eradication of his race and home firsthand as an adult, losing his wife and children, and spending centuries in isolation. He yearns for the sense of belonging, and this is a major struggle for him throughout the series. He doesn't have any attachment to Christmas and its traditions, and doesn't feel like he belongs. He goes out and observes others enjoying the holiday, watching people spend time with loved ones, and hears a girl's thoughts with his telepathy about how she wants to prove that Santa is real to her brother. Jean humors her by making footsteps on the roof for her to hear, which reaffirms her faith in Santa. He also partakes in the cookies she left for Santa and enjoys them. Lastly, he comes to a church and hears the singing. This rekindles dormant memories. You can see the pain in his expression as he remembers what he lost. When the Kents wake up on Christmas morning, they hear Jean singing a beautiful and haunting Martian song in his true form. While it is bittersweet, Jean feels welcome and opens up to the people who welcomed him into their home and shares something joyful from his past. This exemplifies the message of remembering the past and connecting with others presented throughout the episode. Number 1. Arnold's Christmas from Hey Arnold is an amazing episode. It is so heartwarming that it ranks among the best in the series, up there with Helga on the Couch and Pigeon Man. Hey Arnold is a slice-of-life animated cartoon from the 90s that wasn't afraid to explore uncomfortable themes. These themes were presented in ways children and adults could relate to and understand. One of the show's strengths was that it humanized even some of its more eccentric characters. Characters whose quirks were usually played for laughs would receive the spotlight and development, leading to some tragic and moving stories. The spotlight of this episode falls on Mr. Huynh, an Asian man residing in the boarding house run by Arnold's grandparents. Before this episode, he was an Asian stereotype. The main plot of the story starts when Arnold receives Mr. Huynh for Secret Santa. Arnold wants to give him a great present for Christmas, so he goes to visit him to see what he would like. Mr. Huynh tells him that Christmas makes him remember his past. Aw man, buckle up and get the tissues ready. Many years ago, Mr. Huynh lived happily with his daughter Mai in what is heavily implied to be Vietnam. He was so hopeful for her future, but when the country was thrown into turmoil by the Vietnam War, he knew that he and his daughter needed to escape. So they, along with many other citizens, rushed to the American embassy for evacuation via helicopter. Mr. Huynh begged a soldier to let him and his daughter on board, but the helicopter could only hold one more passenger. Mr. Huynh then gave his daughter to the soldier so that she would have a chance for a better life. Before the soldier closed his helicopter door, he called out the name of a city. After 20 years, Mr. Huynh was able to get out of the country and went to that city in hopes of finding Mai. Since then, he has been trying to find her, but is close to losing hope. Arnold decides that he will track down Mr. Huynh's daughter for Christmas, which is a noble goal. Arnold's heart has a large impact on some of the series' most memorable episodes. This episode also shows he has a strong belief in miracles. Throughout the episode, we are shown examples of the other children focusing on the presents. Gerald is giving everyone ties for the sake of getting them gifts, and Arnold recommends putting thought into his gifts to make them more personal. Helga is all about getting great presents. Her first scene in the episode is extolling getting lots of flashy, expensive gifts. As part of Helga's B-plot, which dovetails with the A-plot later, there are designer snow boots that are coveted by every girl in town. She also strives to find the perfect gift for Arnold to get his attention. The two scenes early on of Gerald and Helga remind me of the early scenes in A Charlie Brown Christmas, where the children go on about the large quantities of gifts they want. Both stories contrast the commercialization of the holidays, which seems to become even more ubiquitous every year, with the more substantive elements. With all the honed and rampant advertisements, it is easy to get caught up with the rush of buying presents and lose sight of what's more important. Arnold and Gerald go to the Federal Office of Information. Unfortunately, most of the employees have already started their holidays, and the only employee still working is a cantankerous old man who refuses to help them. Right when they are about to leave, Arnold overhears the man on the phone with his wife. The man hasn't finished his Christmas shopping, so Arnold offers to complete it in exchange for helping them find Mai. The shopping goes well until they get to the last item on the list, the snow boots from earlier. They are, of course, sold out everywhere. If I were to take away a few points, it would be for the abnormal amount of glee the store clerks take from informing Arnold and Gerald that the boots are sold out. Then again, they are working retail in the holidays, so they may have their reasons for being a bit unhinged. They cross paths with Helga, who is about to buy an expensive video game for Arnold. Without telling them who it is for, she mentions that whoever receives it would be really impressed. While Gerald concurs, he says that it wouldn't convey personal feelings. They drop the Christmas list as they leave, and Helga picks it up. Helga, as our lovable stalker does, follows them around and overhears their reason for searching for the boots as they leave the federal agency, unable to fulfill their end of the bargain with the man. Since the man refuses to help them, Arnold is crushed. Helga returns home, and in a moment of unusual lucidity, Helga's mom lets her open one of her Christmas gifts early, and it turns out to be the coveted snow boots. This is significant for two reasons. First, it's kind of amazing that her mom wasn't too drowsy from drinking smoothies to stand 18 hours in line to get the snow boots. Second, considering the tragic amount of parental neglect we learn about in later episodes, it's really amazing that Helga's mom even thought to buy those for her. Maybe she's like Karen Walker and thinks drinking on holidays is for amateurs. As Helga joyfully dances in the snow, the list falls out of her pocket. She has a dilemma: keep the flashy gift she wanted, or give it to the federal worker so that he will find my win. She chooses the latter. The man is about to step into a cab when she catches him, but even though she has the snow boots, he doesn't want to bother. Helga then gives a heartfelt speech on how, if he walks away, Arnold would never believe in miracles again. It is Christmas morning at the boarding house, and everyone has opened a gift except Mr. Wynn, who says it's okay that he didn't get anything. The doorbell rings, and what follows is one of the best and most rewarding scenes in a holiday special. After so many years of searching, Mr. Wynn is finally reunited with his daughter. Arnold asks Gerald how this was even possible, and Gerald tells him that he must have a Christmas angel. The scene pans to outside, where Helga wishes Arnold a Merry Christmas. She did all of this, including giving up a gift she wanted that was also rare recognition from her parents, knowing that she wouldn't get recognition for what she did. That is what Christmas is about. It's about the human connections, passing on goodwill without expecting something in return, and sharing memories with one another and creating new ones. I'm not going to let the commercialization of the season drown out what I love about the holidays, and there are stories that prove that the heart of the holidays can still be heard. I hope you enjoyed these specials. Feel free to share your favorite holiday specials in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Happy holidays.